the American Canadian Tour. Unique in that each and every event is no less than a four-sided rivalry. The Ontario contingent, led by legend Junior Hanley and Randy McDonald.
Well, it's a real good tour, and it's the tour isn't you know, as good as any tour going. But like a lot of our racers are one-day deals, and you know, it don't cost a lot of money to do this tour. And like if you do other tours, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, we have from quarter-mile tracks that are really narrow, high bank, to Mosport here, which is 5/8 long straightaways, tight corners, to Saint Air, which is a tri-oval. So we have to have a lot of different setups and different driving styles.
The veterans of the Quebec Corps, Claude Leclerc, Roger Leperle, and Donald Forte.
Oh yeah, a lot of young guys come in with us from Montreal and from Quebec City. And if Iran, you need more experience and you need a good sponsor. And the guy from Quebec will be tough. A year is coming.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of good old drivers here like Junior Hanley, Beaver Dragon. They're helping us a lot on the tour. You know, sometimes we got a little trouble with the car. We're changing tracks a lot of time, and they give a lot of tip for my case. Yeah.
The U.S. New England Battalion, Dave Dion, Ralph Nason, Kevin LePage, Beaver Dragon, and from Florida, six-time points champ, Robbie Crouch.
Well, I've always believed that if you run good week to week and you win races, then you're going to be up there in the points. That's what we'd like to do. I mean, we might finish second, we might finish first. Junior's catchable in the points, but we got to step it up a notch to be able to run with him on a week-to-week basis.
Today, the American Canadian Tour stops once again at Mosport on our Summer of Thunder Tour 92. Hi again, everybody. I'm Eric Thomas, and welcome to the Bud Triple Crown 100, the first of 7 ACT shows on Raceline, and 6 of those on the GM National Stock Car Series. Along to help us call the action this season, the voice of the American Canadian Tour, Dave Moody. Dave, a little equation for you. What happens when you take the best stock car racers in Canada, mix in a few of the best short track runners in the U.S., how about a $200,000 point fund? And what have you got? The best stock car series in Canada.
No question about it. This is Canada's stock car series. Some tough racers, the best in the business, but make no mistakes about it. We are not going to see classical ballet here this afternoon. These are short track racers at their toughest. We're going to see some fenders fly. We're going to see some paint exchange. We're going to see good, hard stock car racing here today at Mosport.
Defending champion from last year, Junior Hanley, just picking up where he left off last year.
Quite simply, the hottest short track stock car racer in North America. 6 wins in 10 starts coming into today's event, dominating qualifying earlier on. Hanley, no question, is the man to beat.
Let's have a look at that starting grid. Let's get more with John Massingbird.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. If you were feeling the pressure of weather, of competition, this is the place where it's all going to culminate today. Robbie Crouch, a 6-time champion, over 80 feature wins. Randy McDonald, the 1990 series champion. And young Robbie Thompson, who sits on the outside of the front row, never been here before. Robbie, a very unique experience for you. Who's going to win this little drag race?
Well, I don't know. Junior's awful strong, but this Len Corcoran Excavating United Van Line Chevrolet is strong as well, and we're going to try our best to get going down the front chute here.
Robbie, it's 100 laps, no planned pit stops. The strategy is go for it and gun it.
Yeah, if we can't get down in front of them, we're going to tuck in behind them for a little while and save the brakes and the tires. This track's really hard on brakes, and then the last 25, you can look for us to start making a run to the front.
The next man in line, as he starts on the inside of the front row, will be Junior Hanley. And of course, he's won the Bud $50,000 bonus last year. Junior, this is the second race in the pivotal Triple Crown. How do you feel going into it?
Well, the car's running really good. I mean, we run good last night, but today's altogether a different day, so we'll just have to see what the day brings.
Now, Junior, it's only 100 laps. It's going to be a knife fight to the end. You anticipate a lot of rough and tumble action out there?
I don't really think so. You know, like if it could be rough at the end if everybody's running real close for $50,000. But I don't really think that the guys are going to be like that, or I'm going to be like that, or anything else. It should be a real nice race.
Well, good luck, Junior Hanley. Well, it's not only the front 4 cars that are the toughest. You've got a field of 30-plus cars today at Mosport for the Budweiser 100.
The GM National Stock Car Series is brought to you by GM Parts, the expert choice, Kodak Gold Plus Film, You can't keep the moment without Kodak. Castrol XLR, the oil engineered for today's cars. Revell, the world's model maker. And by Budweiser Racing. It's a Bud race.
And here's the way they'll line up for the Bud Triple Crown 100 at Mosport, Jewel 2 of the Budweiser Triple Crown. On the pole from Campbellville, Ontario, Canada's preeminent stock car racing talent, defending champion Junior Hanley.
On the outside of row 1, the big surprise of qualifying, young Robbie Thompson in a Chevrolet.
Randy McDonald picked up his first win this year at Cayuga, a former GM points champion.
And on the outside of McDonald, 6-time ACT King Robbie Crouch of Tampa, Florida.
Roger Leperle from Saint-Denis, Quebec has been with the American Canadian Tour since it began in 1979.
And Bill Zardo Jr., the younger half of the father-son racing team, starting today.
Beaver Dragon, 51 years old, the first champion ACT ever crowned.
And alongside Dragon, looking to become the Rookie of the Year in 1992, Peterborough, Ontario's Kim Wallace.
And from Buffalo, New York, Danny Knoll Jr., winner of the Sportsmanship Award on this tour last year.
And outside, Bill Zardo Sr. of Brampton, Ontario, the Ford Thunderbird.
American Canadian Tour Chief Starter John Holbert moves the field away.
Row number 6, the 53 from Vermont, Dan Beatty. Vermonter Kevin LePage outside in the 21.
Row number 7, Rookie of the Year in 91, Brad Layton in the Buick, and Warren Shrub out of Peterborough in car 4.
Row 8, Derek Lynch of Norwood, Buzzy Bezanson of Plastow, New Hampshire in the 07.
Row 9, youngster from Caledonia, Ontario, Pete Shepard in the Chevy, and Leo Poirier in car 12 out of Ottawa.
Former CASCAR champion Dave Whitlock alongside Sylvain Metivier in 10.
Row number 11, Dave Eisen from London, and Donald Forte out of Laval, Quebec in car 42.
Row 12 to Danny Knoll Sr. and the veteran Claude Leclerc.
Row 13 is John Greedy in the Buick and Ralph Nason in a borrowed Chevrolet.
Row 14, Howie Scannell Jr. starts on the inside of young Andre Baudouin.
Row 15 is Joe Gonzalez in the Chevy and longtime Richmond Hill runner Vito Michelli.
Row 16, Kip Stockwell and former Rookie of the Year Steve Knowlton.
And in row 17, Steve Monroe and Blair Bassett. Junior Hanley will pace the field in behind the official GM ACT pace car.
The big question here, young Robbie Thompson of Owen Sound, Ontario, the Corcoran Excavating Chevrolet Lumina. A great run in qualifying yesterday, but the big question, can the youngster hang with the champion? Junior Hanley with horsepower to spare on a track that makes horsepower a very valuable thing indeed. Robbie Thompson has got his work cut out for him.
Really, he's going to sort of have his attention divided between the flag and the pace car and watching what Junior does, and he knows as soon as that flag drops, Junior's going to be gone like a rabbit here.
Well, if Robbie Thompson does not have an advantage, if he doesn't jump the gun, so to speak, on the green flag, he's going to be in trouble because not only does he have to worry about Junior Hanley inside him, he has to worry about Randy McDonald one row back because if McDonald gets his way, Hanley will get the jump and the 0-1 car will follow him through for second.
Ready for green, they're coming out of 4.
Pace car is in on the front straightaway. Hanley on the inside. Thompson on the outside. Green flag is out and we're racing in the Bud Triple Crown 100. On the break into turn number 1. Junior Hanley by half a car length has the lead. Pulls away out of turn 2. And just as we expected, Randy McDonald moving to the inside for second.
Randy McDonald does not want Junior to get up too far in front this early in the race, but Robbie's doing a nice job here to stick with him, as is Roger Leperle.
Robbie Thompson hung out to dry on that high line, trying to make himself a hole down low. McDonald works underneath. Roger Leperle, the Quebec veteran in the 00, goes underneath, and right behind is Robbie Crouch. So the outside pole sitter, Robbie Thompson, all the way back to 5th place.
Looking for his 7th win so far this year on the American Canadian Tour, and Junior Hanley leads him down to the stripe really early in the event.
Well, Hanley has got himself a comfortable lead, but Randy McDonald is not going to let him get away. The GM Parts Pro Shop machine was very strong in qualifying, and right now he looks to be the equal of Junior Hanley. There's the battle for 3rd. Roger Leperle in the 00, the 48 of Robbie Crouch, the man they call the Tampa Tornado, up to the number 4 position. Those two cars trying to chase down the lead pair as they hit turn 1.
Crouch has always impressed me on the American Canadian Tour, the cornerstone of this organization as far as I'm concerned. 6 wins last year and a 6-time champion, and if he's not close to $1 million in career earnings by now, he should be just around the corner with that.
Robbie Crouch so far winless in 1992. He'd like to break that string here this afternoon, and he is going to the outside of Leperle for the number 3 position. There's a battle back in the pack. 2 of the youngsters on the GM Series. The 1X of Brad Layton, last year's Rookie of the Year. Right behind him, the 15 of Derek Lynch.
Derek Lynch, 5th in ACT points last year, 5th in GM National Stock Car Series points, And what a future ahead for this young man, the most improved driver on the Tour last year.
No question about that. Pegged by just about everyone, veterans and youngsters and observers alike, as one of the stars of the future on this series. He and Leighton having a pretty good joust right now as Hanley and Randy McDonald continue to try and separate themselves from the field.
McDonald doing a nice job. He's not letting Junior get too far away. On the straightaways, he's able to pull up in the corners.
We've got trouble.
Oh, yes, we do. A yellow coming out here. Kip Stockwell and the 80 of Vito Michelli in turn number 4 here.
The two young drivers, although Vito Michelli, no youngster, but a newcomer to competition on the GM Motorsports Series, tangling it up in turn 4. Does not look like severe damage on either one of those automobiles. Stockwell in the 16, Vito Michelli in the 80. Bring out the first caution flag of the afternoon.
They're kind of locked together here. Lift and separate, Vito. Pull her back just a little bit here. There you go.
Looks like both cars should be able to continue on without assistance. Kip Stockwell with a bit of cosmetic damage on the left front corner. The fiberglass body has taken a bit of a blow. Vito Michelli drives away. Looks like both drivers should be able to fall in line at the rear and continue on.
Some front fender damage on the Kip Stockwell number 16. I'm impressed with this young man. Kip looks like he's got a lot of promise here and a lot of ability on this tour.
Well, he does indeed. He is just a youngster. Came up through the late model sportsman and Flying Tiger Series ranks in his home state of Vermont. But he has got the genetic boost that all drivers look for. His father, one of the all-time greats in Vermont stock car racing history, Lenny the Tiger Stockwell, is now the crew chief on that automobile. They're a family operation from the word go, and Kip Stockwell having a very good rookie year on the GM Series.
Still under yellow, and Kip Stockwell brings it down into pit row for some cosmetic surgery here.
And there's the Tiger with the racer's tape in hand, getting ready to tear some fiberglass away. Where would racing teams be without that 200-mile-an-hour tape?
I kind of like the way one of the companies is marketing their tape now. They call it duck tape, not duct tape. And it's one of those things you just can't do without that 200-mile stuff.
Field is sorting up for a restart, and now it's going to get interesting. Hanley on the inside, Randy McDonald on the outside. Ford against Chevrolet. Hanley with a huge jump, anticipating the green flag, and he's gone.
Oh, yeah. He's gone when they come across the stripe. McDonald trying to hang tough, as is the 48 of Robbie Crouch. We go green.
Once again, it looks like the inside line in turn number 2 will prove to be the fast way. Hanley away with the lead. Robbie Crouch follows him through. The Tampa Tornado in car number 48, now door to door with Randy McDonald.
Here they go, side by side. This is the battle on the track right now. And Junior Hanley watching this whole exchange in the rearview mirror. Crouch and McDonald dueling for second here.
Robbie Crouch down to the inside, picks it up, and I guarantee Randy McDonald kicking himself right now. Instead of challenging Hanley at the green flag for the lead, kind of got caught snoozing in turn 3. Hanley came onto the accelerator a little bit early, left everybody behind.
We saw Kip Stockwell in the 16 go by part of that body panel work flapping in the breeze there. Let's ride on board with Oshawa's Randy McDonald in the 01 on the Sony Dynamax Handycam.
McDonald keeping it single file behind the lead pair, Junior Hanley and Robbie Crouch, as those three try and break away from the pack. And you can see he is working hard on that steering wheel. That is short track racing at its best. Randy McDonald really manhandling that automobile.
Watching the tack fluctuate there. What's your guess here? Speeds on the straightaways?
Hard to say. At the end of the straightaways, probably over 120 miles an hour, but this is a very difficult racetrack. It's like 2 drag strips with a hairpin turn on each end. High horsepower, high speed, followed by heavy braking. So this track really challenges the racers.
I was waiting for you to talk about the brakes, because this track can be brutal on the brake assemblies on these machines. Well, the chase continues. Randy McDonald and Junior Hanley, and they're coming by the wall cam for you.
3-car breakaway right now. Hanley at the front, as he has been since the drop of the green flag this afternoon. Robbie Crouch now inheriting the number 2 position from his 4th place start. And Randy McDonald settling in now in the number 3 spot.
Doesn't really matter where Junior puts the car. It just likes to track nice and square and nice and flat. Not just here, but almost anywhere on the tour.
Everywhere from the high bank quarter miles to the mile super speedways, Junior Hanley puts the Molson X machine anywhere it wants to go. And so far, that has been the key to victory. 7 victories in 11 starts is what he's looking for here this afternoon. And right now, you've got to like his chances.
Robbie Crouch trying to stay close, as is the 01 of Randy McDonald. But Junior's had that patented kind of almost a little stutter step stall, little left-hand hook turn in the middle to slow everybody down, but he's always out front when he tries that.
And right now it's working. There's the battle back in the top 10. 1X, Brad Layton, The 15 of Derek Lynch, add Kevin LePage, and also Pete Shepard in the 79 to the mix. That's a good 4-car battle as they head for turn number 3. Leighton, last year's Rookie of the Year, trying to hold off the youngster, Derek Lynch, who fights his way to the inside in turn 4.
Oh, this is a nice little battle for 9th place here. The 1X of Brad Leighton, and riding on board with the 15 of Norwood, Ontario's Derek Lynch.
That's a 4-car battle for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th position. Derek Lynch in the 15, down to the inside of Brad Leighton on the back straightaway. Doesn't have the horsepower to get it done, but you can see, Eric, his car handling a little bit better through the corners. Here's the view that Brad Leighton gets out the rear view mirror as Derek Lynch is in hot pursuit.
Yeah, we're going to give you both sides of this argument here. You notice the way these two guys like to dive down on each other. This is probably the best battle on the track right now.
Derek Lynch definitely has the better handling race car. As they near the end of the back straightaway, you'll see the 15 diving down, almost out of the picture on the inside, but again, Brad Leighton just fast enough to hold him off.
Kevin LePage in the 21 is hanging in there as well. And Beaver Dragon's going to bring out the yellow here, spinning in turn number 4.
Harmon Beaver Dragon, the 2-time American Canadian Tour champion, with a very uncharacteristic miscue as he takes the Harrison Ready Mix car around to the corner.
Second caution flag of the afternoon. It arrives on lap 20. 80 to go in the event. And we're back with more of the Bud Triple Crown 100 from Mosport International Speedway on Raceline after this.
This is not good news for Burlington, Vermont's Beaver Dragon. Too early in the race to be coming in for a pit stop. Evidently, he's cut a tire down, or one's gone soft on him. You see the crew over the wall, jack it up. They'll put both front and rear right side tires. Now, of course, there's no planned pit stops in this race, so this is going to hurt Dragon. He's losing a lot of track position right now.
Well, you mentioned, Dave Moody, an uncharacteristic spin by Beaver. There was something wrong, a tire going down.
Well, we'll see if we can spot what happened. By this point of the action, Dragon is already going around in car number 75. A good piece of driving by Dave Whitlock in the 92. There's Bill Zardo Jr., Warren Shrub, all taking evasive action. A nice job by those drivers as they avoid Dragon as he backs it down to the infield.
John Greedy and Danny Knoll getting by as well cleanly.
So Beaver Dragon with bad news, good news. The bad news, he's at the back of the pack, but the good news is he's got new right side tires and he's got time to come from the rear.
Time to get going here. Pace car drops it down. Green flag from John Hulbert. And we're rolling again.
And once again, Junior Hanley is rolling. The 72 just walking away from the pack. He's got 2 car lengths in hand, and once again, the change for the number 2 spot. As Randy McDonald works his way underneath Robbie Crouch. Crouch in the 48, then the 46. Here comes Bill Zardo into the picture.
Bill Zardo Sr. to Brampton gets tapped by the 27 of Kim Wallace. Continues on here, but Bill Zardo all of a sudden charging out of the pack, and he joins this party up here to put the challenge on Junior.
A close call for Bill Zardo, having by far his best ever season on the American Canadian Tour. Got a little bit of a tap from behind by Kim Wallace, but Zardo, look out, this is no close call. Zardo is into the infield in the 46, and that was a close call for John Greedy as the 0 goes around. Howie Scannell down into the infield, and the caution flag is out once again. Bill Zardo in the 46 taking it around, and it's hard to say right now, Eric, but that may well have been related to the bump from Kim Wallace.
Here's the order. Junior Hanley, your leader. Randy McDonald second. Crouch is third. Wallace is fourth. And Dan Beatty in fifth. There's your top 5.
Field circulating under the caution flag as Bill Zardo brings the all-on crane service Ford to pit road. This car, by the way, the Ford Thunderbird that carried Junior Hanley to the ACT, the GM Series, and the Budweiser Triple Crown Championships in 1991.
Dave, hang on. We've got Bill Zardo on the radio. Billy, any damage on the car that can't be repaired? What's the report?
I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I just came in the corner and the car broke loose.
He got tapped earlier by the 27 of Wallace. You think he might have bent something in the back?
There could be something broken. We just checked it over there. They couldn't find anything.
So yet another potential winner falling by the wayside in the early going. First Beaver Dragon, now Bill Zardo to the back of the field.
Randy McDonald in the 0-1, sawing back and forth to keep those tires up to temperature. Once the green flies and the pace car is gone, another jackrabbit start.
Indeed, he's going to have to pull something out of his hat. Leo Poirier in the number 12 goes around everybody. He's headed for the pits, but Junior Hanley right now has been the master of the restarts. McDonald on the outside is going to have to be alert, because right about now is where Hanley came into the throttle last time and left everybody behind. This time around, McDonald is up to the challenge.
All right, let's see what happens here as John Hulbert unfurls the green.
Again, it's no contest. Junior Hanley, even though McDonald was paying closer attention this time, just drove away in car number 72. And once again, we've got a battle for second. Robbie Crouch in the 48, the 01 Randy McDonald. They've been going at it all day long. And one more time, Crouch and Kim Wallace making it 3 deep through turn number 2. Some great racing as they come down the home stretch. Crouch will get the advantage. Wallace moves up. Randy McDonald trapped to the outside as Dan Beatty comes down low.
Awesome, great maneuvering there by Kim Wallace out of Peterborough. Now you know why he's the hot rookie on the tour this year. Some great driving there with the Peterborough rookie.
And he's not done yet. Kim Wallace fights to the inside of Robbie Crouch. He takes over second place. Right behind him, the 53 of Dan Beatty, all the way from the 6th row at the start of the race. Beatty down to the inside for third now.
A couple of guys I've been watching as well back in the pack here, Dave. The 15 of Derek Lynch and the 79 of Pete Shepard. Couple of youngsters who are now starting to move up into the top part of the pack from back in the pack, and they're starting to make their presence felt up here.
A good battle continuing for that number 3 position. Beatty in the 53, Crouch in the 48, the 2 Vermont drivers going wheel to wheel as they have so many times over the last 10 years. Beatty this time on the inside gets the hole shot, takes the Phillips 66 car into the number 3 position.
Randy McDonald in the 01 up at the front, challenging Junior Hanley, has dropped back a bit in traffic.
McDonald down to the inside of Robbie Crouch, trying to fill the hole made by Dan Beatty, and he's going to move under Robbie Crouch as well. Some spirited racing for second, third, fourth, and fifth, and the harder they charge, the closer they get to Junior Hanley.
Continuing with that great drive by Kim Wallace out of Peterborough. He hangs tough up near the front. Young guy's doing a great job out here.
Well, they call them the Young Lions on this American-Canadian Tour, and it's a good description. Randy McDonald, Kim Wallace, Derek Lynch, Brad Layton, Dan Beatty, all coming to the front. As the years go on, drivers like Crouch, Cabana, Claude Leclerc, Beaver Dragon get ever closer to the eventual retirement. They're not ready to quit yet, but these youngsters are making it tough on them.
Dan Beatty in the 53, 01 of Oshawa's Randy McDonald in the 48 of Florida's Robbie Crouch. Down the backstretch they go.
That's the best battle on the racetrack right now, as Kim Wallace has managed to break away just a bit in the Flexmore Trucking Chevrolet. Robbie Crouch, the native Floridian from Tampa, Florida, now makes his home in Georgia, Vermont. First came north about 18 years ago with his father, the late C.A. Crouch, to find a place where they could race 4 and 5 nights a week. And back in those days, New England was the place to do it. Robbie Crouch found a home, found a wife, and now he's a full-time Vermonter. But right now, he's full-time in hot pursuit of Dan Beatty and Randy McDonald.
Just saw the 15 of Derek Lynch flash by as well. He is on the move and moving up slowly and kind of inconspicuously as well.
Derek Lynch started 15th on the field in car number 15, but you're right, he is closing in. That's the 48 of Robbie Crouch dead ahead. Derek Lynch on the in-car trying to reel in a very tough pack in 3rd, 4th, and 5th place.
Derek named the most improved driver on the tour last year. Let's meet this new young lion. The American-Canadian Tour, like any top-flight racing organization, always seems to give you an interesting blend of drivers. Those old, wily veterans, those young greenhorn, fresh-faced, over-anxious rookies, but those drivers that have been around running for several years but are still young enough to ensure a bright competitive future for that organization. Derek Lynch of Norwood, Ontario, driver of the Onsat Buick, car number 15, just turned 21 in June of this season. He joined the American-Canadian Tour with one race in 1988 and then signed on full-time in 1989. But let's turn the clock back just a little bit. Derek may just have turned 21 years of age, but he's been racing some 7 years. Well, quick calculation will tell you the first time he strapped inside a stock car, he was only 14.
Yeah, 1986, our first year on the stock cars at Peterborough. It was, like you say, an 81 Camaro bodied car. And we won the Rookie of the Year that year, and it was interesting because I could run with all the guys on the racetrack, but I was too young to get the truck and the trailer to the track, and I'm just not sure how a lot of guys took that, but it went pretty well considering.
Only 14 years or not, Lynch was totally in control. The next year, he won the Sportsman title at Peterborough, and he was still too young to drive anywhere other than on the Speedway. ACT has watched Derek Lynch grow like a weed from that very first race in '88 to an absolutely outstanding season in 1991. Last year, Lynch finished 5th in both ACT and GM National Stock Car Series points. He finished in the top 10 17 times, but most significantly, Lynch was named the most improved driver. It was one heck of a year.
Yeah, it was, Eric. Last year we had a lot of real confidence builders, I guess you call them. A lot of top 5 runs, very consistent in the top 10 runs, good finishes in both the point standings, and it was a real good builder for my team to go on. You guys really got some confidence in themselves, what they could do, and it really was a good kind of what you just call a bonding moment with the rest of the teams on the tour. My guys kind of become accepted, and I think I did a little bit more too, and we really enjoyed it.
So many good things have happened so early and so quickly in his career. What could possibly lie ahead then for Derek Lynch?
Well, we're not exactly sure, Eric. Like you say, because of our youngness, our newness to the sport in all reality, because of my age being 21, we're not really sure. We're just going to wait and see what happens. We're really happy with the ACT program we've got going. If we're here for another 5 or 6 years, it's not going to hurt us a bit. If somebody come along and offered us a Busch deal, say, we'd really have to sit down and think about it because of the newness of our crew. The fact that I still need a lot of seat time, a lot of lap time comes into play there, and you know, we want to be ready when we make our next step. And I'm really happy right where we are, and I could be here the rest of my life, and that wouldn't be a problem.
21-year-old Derek Lynch just might be ACT's hottest long-term property, because when the Hanleys, the Crouches, and the Dragons decide to hang it up, Derek Lynch will just be hitting his stride. Derek Lynch, one of racing's colorful people, brought to you by Kodak.
Derek Lynch, one of the hottest properties on the American-Canadian Tour, and right now he's making things hot for Robbie Crouch as he continues to close in on the back bumper of the Tampa Tornado.
Derek Lynch continues that pressure. Seems to like this track a lot. It seems to work well with his style.
It's not a track that he's had a lot of success on over the past couple of seasons, but here's a pass now for the number 3 position. Randy McDonald ducking down inside Dan Beatty. No change at the front, though. The only passing going on there is lapping as Junior Hanley moves around some of the back markers. Hanley once again has pulled away to a big lead.
Junior now coming up on the 0 of John Greedy out of Brampton, Ontario, going for the second jewel of the Triple Crown. He won the first jewel at Delaware Speedway in London.
And you can see the long gap back to Randy McDonald. The Oshawa Golden Boy looking up ahead saying, that's a little too much. Junior's getting too far ahead, moved underneath Dan Beatty, and now will set out in pursuit of the Molson X Ford. Right now, Junior Hanley appears to be in a class by himself, taking his time, giving those lap cars plenty of room as he works past through the corners.
Sitting by the 82 of Sylvain Mativier out of Montreal, and by the stripe to click off another one.
Junior Hanley so far has led every step of the way, and it does not look like at the moment anybody is ready to challenge him. It's been a vintage Hanley performance. These drivers are very used to seeing the back end of that bright red Molson X machine. It's a sight that they've become all too familiar with in 1992.
That Ron Hutter constructed Ford engine just humming out here. No trouble at all, not even working too hard.
Well, Junior Hanley, when you have that kind of horsepower at your disposal, it makes things awfully easy. He is the racer's racer. He does this full time. There's no Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job for Junior Hanley. Racing is his business.
We have reached the halfway mark of the Bud Triple Crown 100 at Mosport International Speedway on Raceline. Let's look at the top 20. Pick out your favorites. See where they are, Dave.
Of course, Junior Hanley, the leader. Robbie Crouch, 3rd. Dan Beatty in the 4th spot. Derek Lynch all the way up to 6th in car number 15.
Buzzy Bezanson, Dave Eisen in the 17, Kevin LePage. 20 cars on the lead lap.
And considering the pace set here in the early going by Junior Hanley, that is a strong pace indeed to have 20 cars on the lead circuit at the halfway point. Andre Beaudoin, the number 20 automobile right now, in danger of going a lap down. So momentarily it will go from 20 to 19.
All trying to chase the 72 of Campbellville, Ontario's Junior Hanley up front.
Robbie Crouch in the 48 car facing 2 abreast lap traffic as they hit the front straightaway. That's the Joe Gonzalez automobile, car number 93. Crouch waits patiently as Gonzalez moves around the slower car, looks to the inside, maybe not so patiently now as he gives the 93 a bit of a bump from behind. The Tampa Tornado now takes it to the outside. He'll move around Joe Gonzalez and continue his pursuit of the leaders.
Joe Gonzalez moves down the lower part of the groove and lets the leaders go by.
There's Dan Beatty in the 53, the 27 of Kim Wallace. Both have run as high as second in this event. Right now, they're back in the 4th and 5th positions. Beatty in the 53, the Barrie, Vermont driver, picked up his first career American-Canadian Tour victory last summer at his home track, Thunder Road in Barrie, Vermont. And here's the view out the back of the 53 Country Music Club Buick.
Looking right down the nose, the 27 of Peterborough's Kim Wallace.
Kim Wallace down on the bottom of the racetrack, handling very well through these tight hairpin corners. Beatty goes around Greedy, John Greedy in the 0. Kim Wallace right behind. Here's Bill Zardo Jr. in pit row.
Bill Zardo Jr. with 3 top 10s last year. Really wanted to do a lot better this year. We've got a hot sneaker here on the right rear.
Brake problem on the rear end of the Zardo scrap metal Chevrolet. Zardo with a little bit of flame showing off the right rear corner. And that's just another illustration, Eric, how tough this track can be on brakes.
Oh, really brutal on brakes. You can see there, just too much friction. And it just got too hot, and what can happen if this thing isn't put out now and he runs around a little more, that tire can start to burn as well.
No question, and what happens, those tires and those brakes get so heated up that the caliper sticks on, and that certainly is not the fast way around the racetrack. Field working past on the back straightaway. Everybody trying to chase down Junior Hanley one more time. There goes the Molson X Ford, and closing in, Randy McDonald.
Robbie Thompson in the 25, the Len Corcoran Excavating Chevrolet. He's made his presence felt here and is up into the picture here for the first time in quite a while here.
Robbie Thompson has had a very quiet, very business-like kind of a day. Started on the outside pole, faded from view in the middle laps of this race, but Robbie Thompson in the 29 beginning to come on strong now. He is back in the top 10 up to the number 8 position.
Back up at the front here, Junior Hanley and Randy McDonald, just like the first few pages of this event. The challenge is on again. And Randy, really, the last couple of events, the only one to challenge Junior, and problems in turn 4 here.
Kip Stockwell, the 16, the 12 of Leo Poirier have come together in turn number 4. Field remains under green as both cars are back underway.
Whoa!
We've got an official on the track.
I don't believe we're
the
under
green flag is out. The green flag is out, and one of the local Mosport officials is down on the racing surface. He obviously believes that the caution is out. It is not, and I don't believe the chief starter can even see him. He's up against the wall, and the field is racing in turn 3. Well, now they've spotted him, and they've got the yellow out.
Well, he picked up the debris, so mission accomplished, I suppose. But what a nail chewer that was.
My goodness, I have never in 25 years seen anything like that in my life, and I'll tell you what, Eric, I'm not exactly sure who the leader of this race is.
You got me. Junior lifted when he saw the official on the track. Randy McDonald did not lift when he was on the track. I'm not sure. Randy's got one of the radios. Maybe he can figure things out for us. Randy, what's going on?
Well, we're not really sure what's going on yet, Eric. Told there was a spin, so we took it easy. We didn't see the yellow, so we maintained a good speed. So I don't know. There's an official down on the track and stuff. Just good thing nobody got hurt.
Well, Randy McDonald isn't exactly sure who's leading this event. Why don't we look at this again and see if we can't unravel this entire mystery?
Let's see what happens. There's Junior Hanley coming out of turn 4, and already down on the inside, Randy McDonald, right down next to the inside wall. He did not see the official on the racetrack. He clearly has passed Junior Hanley. Bill Zardo now in the other black car passing Junior Hanley, and you can see the caution flag is not out yet.
Well, back on the radio, Randy McDonald, the officials have you as the leader. You're ahead of Junior, but can you hang on to this thing?
Just before the yellow, when we got all the traffic, we seemed to think we were running just a little bit quicker. But, I mean, this track is really slippery, and we don't want anything stupid to happen. So, I don't know. I think we got a shot at it now anyway.
Well, we'll see if Randy McDonald can make the most of a very bizarre situation. The first time anybody has led Junior Hanley today. It took a weird set of circumstances to get it done, but here's the opportunity now for Randy McDonald.
Kind of wondering if Randy's got a flashback to a year ago at this track when he had a savage wreck. Let's check the safety aspects of the car on the tech file.
Hi, welcome to the Castrol Tech File. You know, over the years, race cars have become faster and faster, and consequently, the track's more and more treacherous. Unlike our steel road cars that absorb impact by crushing body panels, fenders, and bumpers, this fiberglass body just doesn't do the trick. So what protects the driver from harm? Well, that's the subject of today's Castrol Tech File.
Drives away hard into turn number 1. Oh, look out! Greedy gets into it from behind, and a hard smash into the outside wall. A very serious crash involving Randy McDonald and John Greedy. McDonald goes
As any driver will tell you, their worst nightmare is fire. Think about it. You're racing, you've backed the car into a wall, somebody's hit you on the backside, the fuel tank explodes. You're buckled in a 5-point harness with no place to go. Well, in Randy McDonald's ACT car, that would be somewhat less of a problem because ACT mandates a fuel cell. Now, essentially what that is a steel-encased tank with a rubber bladder inside. This can take a pretty good hit from the side or one even from the back. You could probably crush this cell about halfway up, keeping in mind that the rubber bladder is going to contain all of the gasoline. It'll conform to the inside of this case. This access plate contains a number of features. A dipstick, of course, to check the fuel level. The fill tube, the main fill tube, that's the big one. The fuel goes in there into the fuel cell. This one is a breather tube, allows it to drain the fuel out without collapsing the cell. In addition, this contains a couple of check valves, so should Randy get the car upside down, the only fuel that's going to escape is what's right here in these tubes. And of course, this line leads right up to the motor, and that's what makes the steam. In the unlikely event that the fuel cell fails, Randy's got his own personal backup system. We're all familiar with the driver suit, but in addition to that, there's a complete set of fire retardant underwear. It starts with the socks, goes to the fireproof boots. You can see the complete underwear, long johns, right up to the Nomex balaclava. Of course, once Randy's bolted into the car, he'll put on the 2-layer fireproof gloves. Another piece of safety equipment is the horse collar. It goes around the neck and it helps support the weight of the helmet. Keep in mind there's a lot of lateral movement as these guys beat it around half-mile racetracks. Now that we've addressed all of the fire concerns, let's take a look inside at the cockpit. The part that's most apparent from the outside is the driver's safety net. The purpose of the net is basically to keep a driver's extremities contained on the inside in the event of an impact from the side and or the rear. Moving further inside, the thing that sticks out most is probably all of this roll bar and tubing. There's plenty of triangulation that keeps this whole cockpit and cocoon very, very strong. 200 to 300 laps are long, long races to run, and the best thing you can do for your driver is to keep them comfortable. But on top of that, you want to keep them safe. The side supports for both the left and the right side ribs. You notice the supports up top for the helmet. Now that'll keep Randy's neck from getting sore over the course of the race, but also, again, in the event of a hit, it stops the whiplash effect. Getting in and out of the car is made easier by a removable steering wheel, and of course in an emergency situation, that's extremely important. Randy, like all of us, hopefully up and down the highway, wears seatbelts. His is a little more exotic than ours. He uses a complete 5-point system. Located down beside Randy is a fire suppression system as well. 2 nozzles, both of them pointing at Randy. All he's got to do is pull a pin, hit the panic button, and it'll spray out halon on the inside of the car and extinguish it all. All of the safety features that we've talked about, the interior, of course, the driver accessories and uniform, the fuel cell, all of them are designed to promote survivability, and that's something that Randy McDonald knows all about.
Welcome back to Raceline, the Bud Triple Crown 100 from Mosport International Speedway. Eric Thomas, Dave Moody, and John Messingberg.
Randy McDonald has taken over the lead for the first time today. Junior Hanley drop kick back to second, followed by Crouch, Lynch, and Dan Beatty. It's McDonald on the inside as we set for the restart. Then the lap car of Bill Zardo Sr. Junior Hanley inside the second row. The green is out. Hanley wasting no time. Makes it 3 deep into turn number 1. Bounces off Randy McDonald. Holy cow. Junior Hanley back in the lead, less than a quarter of a lap from the green flag.
Doesn't have to be a hole there for Junior to get through. A lot of times he'll punch his own.
I don't think Junior Hanley is entirely happy with the way he lost the lead, and he really made a statement on the restart. Hanley with horsepower to spare. Boy, it's easy to be brave when you've got that kind of power under the hood.
72 with Junior Hanley back out in front. What a restart. Let's have a look at this again. That deserves a second look.
Well, Bill Zardo on the outside, the lapped car. Randy McDonald supposedly on the inside. Forget about it. Hanley goes underneath both of them, pulls the bank shot off McDonald's left front tire, and just as quick as that, the Molson X machine is back to the point.
Didn't take him very long, just a couple of seconds to regain the lead, and this is starting to look like the first few pages of the event.
Not only is Junior Hanley back in front, he's pulling away in a big way. He has opened up 10, maybe 15 car lengths over Randy McDonald in the 0-1 machine, and just as it was before the caution, Junior Hanley all by himself, beginning to lap some of the slower traffic. A brief scare for Hanley, but right now he is out in front and pulling away. We've got trouble on the front chute. Kim Wallace and Leo Poirier in it.
Yes, sorry, Dave. Poirier back into trouble along with Kim Wallace. And he climbs out of the car. He's okay, but my, there's some massive body damage on Leo Poirier's number 12.
I don't think Poirier is a happy camper. Climbs out of the car, casts a glance over his shoulder at Kim Wallace, and stalks back to his pit area. Wallace is down on pit road. You can see the 27 with some right front fiberglass damage at the very least. Leo Poirier in the Pavage Roland Fortier machine with severe damage. That's going to be the end of his day.
So the yellow comes out again to slow it down, but it's just going to shuffle the deck slightly in behind Junior.
Leo Poirier and the team lobbying one of the GM Series officials, saying what happened out there. Apparently they feel they were done wrong on the front straightaway, I would presume by the Flexmore Trucking Chevrolet of Kim Wallace, who is back underway, and he'll take it to the rear of the field.
Gets the go sign, and away he moves.
So a close call for the top rookie on the American-Canadian Tour as he gets involved. Wallace, who had run up front earlier on today, will go all the way to the back of the pack as the wrecker crews attend to the Chevrolet Lumina. Leo Poirier of Ottawa. Let's take a second look, see if we can figure out what happened here. Coming out of turn 4, field making its way down the front straightaway. Kim Wallace, whoa, look at that. Wallace almost upside down, climbed right up the door of Leo Poirier.
Look at this thing again. Kim Wallace comes awfully close to turtling this car upside down. Almost goes over, fiberglass flying all over the place. Look at Poirier in front here in the 12. Hairy for him, too.
Well, indeed. Leo Poirier very nearly had a 3,000-pound stock car in his lap, but I think I know now why Leo Poirier was so upset as he made his way back to pit road. Severe damage on that automobile. You can just about see the path that Kim Wallace's Chevrolet took right up the side and over the top of Leo Poirier's car number 12.
Yeah, definitely not designed to do that. And the repairs rather severe on the number 12 of Ottawa's Leo Poirier.
Let's get another look. This is out the back door of Brad Layton's Buick. That's Poirier right behind Layton. Whoa, gives him a shot. My goodness, Brad Layton fortunate as well to get away undamaged.
Brad Layton and all that flying around in behind him there, and he just got out of the way in time.
End result, another restart on tap. It will be Hanley and McDonald, Robbie Crouch, then the lap car of Bill Zardo. Let's see what they can do. Down to the line this time. Again, Hanley pulls away. Again, Robbie Crouch follows him through for the number 2 position.
The Tampa Tornado's not giving up in this. We've been talking about Hanley McDonald, but Crouch is right in there too. He's not going to let those two guys walk away with all the attention.
Crouch and McDonald have swapped the runner-up position at least 5 different times. Whoops, make it 6. Crouch to the top of the racetrack bobbles. McDonald right back underneath him. Another change in the number 2 position.
Chevrolet of Randy McDonald handling extremely well late in the going.
Robbie Crouch right behind him in 3rd. Dan Beatty a couple of cars back in the 4th spot. In 5th right now is Derek Lynch. Robbie Thompson in the 25 on the comeback trail as he shows in the number 6 position. There they are, Lynch in the red number 15, the 25 of Robbie Thompson. The 2 youngsters running like veterans. Look at Thompson going to the outside, trying to do it hard on the high side. The battle for the number 6 spot.
20-year-old Robbie Thompson, 21-year-old Derek Lynch. And they're doing a great job out here to try and put some heat on the 72 of Junior Hanley.
You get the idea that the future of this series is in good hands with youngsters like Lynch and Thompson in the running. But right now it is all Junior Hanley at the front. There's Lynch moving underneath the Beaver Dragon automobile. Robbie Thompson has already moved past into the number 6 position. There's the pass for 7th. Lynch on the inside takes it away from the Beaver.
Ralph Nason in car number 10, you saw him drop down to the low groove. 10 laps to go, just 10 for Campbellville, Ontario's Junior Hanley to claim the 2nd jewel of the Budweiser Triple Crown and the $50,000 bonus.
The only things that can stop Junior Hanley right now are lapped traffic and a caution flag. He makes his way to the outside of Kip Stockwell. Whoop! This may be our caution. Don Forte is off course in car number 42. Forte down to the inside of the racetrack, puts this field under yellow, and there's the opportunity that Randy McDonald was looking for.
And the last thing that Junior Hanley wanted to see was a yellow this late in the event. Quickly down to the pits and John Massenberg.
We're with veteran Claude Leclerc. Claude, what happened out there?
On a restart, the transmission broke on the 3rd gear, and when I came for shift on the 4th, nothing. The transmission is still in neutral, and the day was over for me. It's bad. The car was super, and I want to finish in the top 5 for sure. It's bad.
That's a tough break for veteran ACT campaigner Claude Leclerc out of Quebec.
So Leclerc will spend the final 5 laps on the sidelines. Under American Canadian Tour rules, the final 5 circuits must be run under the green flag. So it will be green flag and then a 5-lap dash for cash for Junior Hanley, Randy McDonald, Robbie Crouch.
It's not the first time Junior Hanley's had this happen to him with a victory in his grasp with a late yellow. Figures, okay, wave the green, let's get this thing finished. What do you think?
Well, let's see what happens. Hanley on the inside, McDonald on the outside, then Crouch in the lap car of Zardo. McDonald that time didn't even try it.
No.
Stuck it down in the low line, prevented a replay of the Robbie Follows Jr. to second place action. And right now it's Hanley and McDonald pulling away. This time by, it'll be 4 to go.
If you were here for the early part of the event, it's going to look a little familiar, but Crouch is hanging in there. Bill Zardo with the lap car, and Steve Knowlton from Ipswich, Massachusetts in the 88, and he is a lap down, don't forget.
There's the battle for the number 4 position. Robbie Thompson in the 25, the 53 of Dan Beatty. But right now at the front, it's a 2-man dance. 72 Hanley, 01 McDonald. Hanley now just over 3 laps away from the second leg of the Budweiser Triple Crown.
Junior won a record $236,000 in purse, bonuses, and contingencies last year. It's easy to see why. He makes it look so easy.
$236,000 and change in 1991, and he's just a couple of miles away from his 7th win in 11 starts in 92. I'll tell you what, before too much longer, that $250,000 mark may sound like chicken feed for Junior Hanley.
Clicks off another one. Ever closer to his 7th win for 1992. Same total he had last year.
And it does not look like Randy McDonald is going to mount a challenge. In fact, the GM Parts Pro Shop machine beginning to fade as Hanley works some heat into those tires. Hanley now has McDonald at arm's length, brings it down out of turn number 4. Hanley another lap closer to the $50,000 bonus. Leg number 2 of the Triple Crown almost within his grasp now.
ACT points champ, GM National Stock Car Series champion, Campbellville, Ontario's Junior Hanley, transplanted Nova Scotian, about to bring it home again.
And as dominant as Junior Hanley has been here this afternoon, white flag out, 1 lap remaining. This really has been the story of the 1992 season. Hanley has had challengers. He's had challengers galore. But when it comes down to crunch time, Hanley has been the man to beat. Final turn now for the Molson X Ford. Junior Hanley can almost walk it home from here. Checkered flag is out. The Bud Triple Crown 100. Junior Hanley in the 72.
Another great job by Junior. We're back to talk with the winner of the Bud Triple Crown 100 from Mosport on Raceline in just a moment.
Well, if there was ever to be a line out of Las Vegas from the odds makers, I doubt very much that any of them would have ever picked Junior Hanley to knock off the 2 of the first 3 legs of that Budweiser Triple Crown. But as he just pulls his helmet off, Junior, congratulations. That's 2 legs of the Bud Triple Crown.
Yeah, the car was working really good. We got messed up on one of those cautions. They didn't throw the caution. We thought they did, and we lost the spot, but we got it back right away, so yes, the car was working good.
Going into this race after last year's win, the Bud $50,000 Triple Crown, would you ever have thought it was going to happen like this again, that it would be easy? Was it difficult?
Well, every these races get harder and harder and harder, and this year here we didn't figure we could come back and repeat, and we ain't really repeated yet, so we shouldn't really be saying nothing. We got 2, we still got another one to go.
1 more leg to go for Junior Hanley as he wins here today at the Budweiser 100 at Mosport Speedway.
Well, Dave Moody, let's look at the final results of the Bud Triple Crown 100. Junior Hanley on top again in car 72.
No surprise there. Randy McDonald with a great run to the 2nd spot. Robbie Crouch, great day for Robbie Thompson. Dan Beatty in the 5th spot. Good run today for Pete Shepard and Dave Eisen as they log the top 10 finishes. Good runs for the part-time competitors.
Time now for the Revell Model Performance Driver of the race, 25 of 20-year-old Robbie Thompson.
No question about it. He ran a veterans type of race today. Started on the outside pole, faded back out of the top 10 midway, but when the chips were down, the final 25 laps, young Robbie Thompson came to the front.
Little trivia here, brought to you by Performance Racing News, North America's Motorsport Authority. Now, Mr. Moody, keep quiet for a second. I know you know this one. Since the beginning in '79, who is the all-time leader in American Canadian Tour wins? Beaver Dragon, Robbie Crouch, or Ralph Nason? What do you think?
I do know this one, and the answer, all-time ACT win leader, B. Robbie Crouch, with nearly 3 times the checkered flags of his closest pursuer, Jean-Paul Cabana.
When the race first started, you and I talked about the fact that Junior Hanley probably was going to dominate this event, and except for one lap, that's exactly what happened.
No surprise there. Junior Hanley has been the class of the field throughout '92. No exception here. The Thunderbird with tremendous horsepower here at Mosport, a track that puts a real premium on horsepower. With the exception of that one lonely lap, Hanley was the class of the field today.
7 wins in 1992. He pads his lead in both ACT points and the GM National Stock Car Series. Junior Hanley wins another. On behalf of John Massingbird and Dave Moody, I'm Eric Thomas. We'll see you next time on Raceline.
Racing radios provided by New Venture Communications, London, Ontario. In-car and wall cameras supplied by Sony Canada, makers of the Sony Handycam. Raceline has been brought to you by GM Parts, the expert choice. Kodak Gold Plus Film. You can't keep the moment without Kodak. Castrol XLR, the oil engineered for today's cars. Ravel, the world's model maker. And by Budweiser Racing. It's a Bud race.